Welcome back to Saturday Hashmarks. My name is Brian, also known as Trojan Bias on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and I'm joined here by Nick. Nick, I'm not asking you how you're doing today because we have some very, very big breaking news. Earlier in the day, it was announced that Sherrone Moore, the head coach at Michigan, was fired by Michigan, and the only thing that we knew at the time was that it had to do with an inappropriate relationship with a female staffer. Since then, uh, some more things have happened, and very unfortunate, tragic, sad things have happened. So, what we know for certain is that Sherrone Moore was detained by the police in a suburb of Ann Arbor, and then transferred to a different police department for pending charges, is what we knew. Now, obviously, the internet has been going crazy, wondering exactly what happened, what did he do, why did he even get fired in the first place, what's this inappropriate relationship. So putting together a few different sources, and I want to say that this is not confirmed, so we don't know for certain that this is fact. Uh, but when you have a bunch of different sources that are all saying one thing,
Yeah.
you can come to the conclusion that something pretty similar to that happened. And it's looking like what happened is Sherrone Moore was having an affair, hired the person or the girl he was having an affair with as the executive assistant or the executive assistant to the football coach. He then impregnated her and then forced her to have an abortion. Now, I don't know what exactly that entails, if we're talking like an actual medical appointment, if we're talking just a Plan B pill, if we're talking like physically forced her or just, I guess
Yeah.
manipulated her, held her job over her head. We do know that he gave her like a 55% raise earlier in the year too. Um, but then that's kind of what came out. Michigan has been investigating it for a few weeks, and they ended up firing him for it. And then when it gets really, really bad, after that, he went home, told his wife he was going to kill himself, grabbed a knife, went to the female staffer's house, kicked her door in, was heard yelling that she ruined his life, and that he was going to kill himself, but before he was going to kill himself, he was going to kill her. Police, I'm not sure if police got there during all this, if he ended up leaving and got arrested, but it looks like he did get arrested and detained before anybody got physically hurt, or seriously physically hurt. We don't know if she got, hit, but we know she didn't get killed. So, um, obviously a very tragic story, and I think one that we are all very can all be very thankful that no one got seriously physically hurt, but
hmm
nonetheless, very tragic events.
Yeah. It's it's honestly just wild. Like one word to sum it up is just wild. Like was not expecting that to see that on Wednesday, December 10th, you
Yeah.
know. Like what the hell, just out of the blue, and then all the other stuff just started to trickle in, and it doesn't look good. And all the other actual reports coming out from ESPN and stuff that he has been arrested and all this kind of and it's just not looking good for him. Uh,
Not in the
it
slightest.
sucks for his wife. He's got three kids. Like it's it's pretty terrible for everyone involved. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say about it, dude. It's just insane.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know why. Like I don't know why he would do what he did, but
I think it's first and foremost, nothing but prayers and well, well thoughts or well wishes for the female staffer. Now, as I said, obviously doesn't look like she was physically harmed, but that's a very traumatic
yeah.
situation that
hmm
she is going to have to deal with for the rest of her life. Something that she will definitely need to, or I, if it were me in that situation, would definitely need to seek like professional help for. And then his family, obviously being dragged through this, um, three kids, a wife, have to be dragged through this very traumatic experience for them too. Something that they will remember for the rest of their life, like the day that their lives changed. Probably looking at their dad in a whole different light now, and husband in a different light now, or ex-husband, whatever they decide to do in their relationship. Uh, and then I'm going to say that I hope Sherrone Moore gets the help that he clearly needs. If all of this is what happened, um, I don't think anybody in their right mind reacts to getting fired and all this happening in the way that he did. It seems like something, getting fired triggered a mental breakdown for him. I don't think that absolves him of guilt or anything like that. He definitely will need to be punished or be,
Mm-hmm.
the justice will still need to be served, but hopefully he is able to get the help that he deserves, because it's a tragic fall from grace, so to speak. Sherrone Moore came in when Harbaugh was suspended, and he beat Ohio State, and then was their savior that was going to help them. They were very impressed with that. So when Harbaugh left, they gave him the reins and said, "We trust in you, Coach Moore." So all of that stuff is very tragic. And then you take the actual real life, take football out of it stuff. Just a very tragic story. I think we're all hoping for everybody to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I we do have to talk about football. This is ultimately a football podcast. So, um, it's going to be interesting to see who Michigan hires as head coach.
Yeah,
All of
I don't know
the
what they do. I
all
mean,
of
they promoted Biff Poggi, but
so I
I'm
looked
sure that'll
in.
be for all of next year
I
at least.
I don't think he was on staff this year. I think they kind of brought him in, similar to like when Lincoln Riley left for USC and didn't coach Oklahoma in the bowl game. I don't think he was on staff. I could be wrong about that, but
Are
when
you
I was
sure? I
looking,
think he coached games this year when Sherrone didn't he get suspended for a couple games this year?
he did. But
Yeah,
when I was
Biff
looking,
Poggi was the interim.
okay, see that makes sense because when I was looking at like his
He was a high school coach
accolades,
forever.
yeah. I couldn't find anything about him being on staff this year, so that would make sense if that was the case, and I forgot about that, something that happened at the beginning of the season. But um,
Because
as
didn't
far
they
as
pick like
permanent,
those few weeks where Sherrone Moore
yeah,
missed
they
like
picked
weeks like
like
2, 5, and 7 or whatever?
yeah, they picked some very very not
Yeah.
tough weeks. I'm gonna throw a name out though, Mikey Gundy.
Hmm. I mean,
I
he
think
did
I
not do very well at Oklahoma State at the end.
Not this year, he didn't. He seems like one of those guys that maybe just wasn't able to transition to the NIL era. And it could be that Oklahoma State just didn't transition to the NIL era. Um, I think he's a good football coach, though. I mean, you look at what he's done for a ton of years at Oklahoma
Hmm.
State. He's a good football coach.
Yeah. I mean, if he gets the resources, who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they. I think they just keep Poggi for this year and then get back into the cycle.
It's a possibility. Okay, besides Michigan, now that we've taken care of that, we also had the college football playoff seedings come out since the last time we recorded. They came out on Sunday. So we had our conference championship games on Saturday, and then about 12 hours of arguing over the internet, people calling each other stupid, threats being made. Um, Fists were probably flying if these people were arguing in person. There were definitely fights
Hmm.
involving the arguments. And so before we get into that, let's just tell you what the arguments were about. It was between four teams, so 3.5 teams. Alabama got dog walked in their conference championship game. Couple that with their 2 losses this year, they were now very much looking like they were on the bubble. Miami was out of the playoffs looking in, but they didn't play a conference championship game, and neither did Notre Dame. But Miami fans were saying they should pass Notre Dame because they have the head-to-head. And Notre Dame fans were saying, well, you guys have 2 worse losses than us, which doesn't make a lot of sense considering one of their losses was to Miami. And then you had BYU. They were trying to make a case for themselves because they were 11-1 in the regular season, only lost to the number 4 team in the country, and then got dog walked in the conference championship. They were trying to make a case for themselves. And I'm going to let you throw a fifth one in here. Texas fans were being very delusional, thinking that at 9-3 they should get in, and saying, well, we really would have been 8-2 had we not played Ohio State, in which case I still don't think they would have gotten in. There was too many
No.
one-loss teams,
I
and
mean,
when you have a loss
yeah,
to a
it
four and
depends.
eight,
We
I
probably
just don't
wouldn't
think.
be if Texas was 10-2 and they played some crappy school week 1. I think they'd probably be a couple spots higher, and they'd probably push out Miami.
I don't know. They had a loss to a 4-8 Florida.
Yeah, I mean, and Bama had a loss to a 5-7 Florida State.
And I don't think that Bama probably. I don't. Had Bama not been in the playoffs at that point when the conference championship game was played, I don't think they should have been in the playoffs either. Um, that also happened a little bit later in the season, and they also didn't have. Alabama had the Georgia win. Texas, I guess, had the Oklahoma win, but that's still like kind of a questionable win because you're looking at saying Mateer was hurt for that game. Like
That OU
playing
offense is pretty damn bad too.
that OU
At least
offense is.
lately,
Yeah, no, I mean they're looking better, but they're not
very
looking
average.
great. Yeah, their defense is keeping them in games. Their defense is what helped them, or the reason they beat Alabama. Their offense is ass and a half. It's not good.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say the big old decision about Miami Notre Dame. I mean, with the way it is, that I think in the end, the committee got it right with the way that their like verbiage goes and everything. They don't fully punish teams for losing in the conference championship game. Like
I
you sh-
absolutely agree with that.
like they do take into head to head when the teams are ranked next to each other. When teams are farther ranked apart, they don't take it into account. Like they all their little rules that they have. It seems like they took everything into account.
I
I do,
absolutely
yeah,
agree that the college football playoff committee got it right based on the current format they have. Based on the current format they have now, is it a good format? We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but let's go through, and then I will tell you why I think that they nailed it. So, at one you have Indiana, two Ohio State, three Georgia, four Texas. Now, those are
Texas
the teams
Tech.
that have the first round. Sorry, Texas Tech. Those are the teams that have the first round buys. We'll go through right now. I don't hate any of that. I think obviously Indiana beat Ohio State, so flip them. Georgia,
Yeah,
Texas Tech. I don't hate any of those top 1 through 4. They all
I'm
have
actually
either one
glad.
loss.
I'm actually glad the committee didn't punish Ohio State for losing that much.
I
Like they punished them. Obviously, you get punished. You're not the number one overall team in the country, but like they've been number one every single week of the year. And if you lose to the number two team in the country by 3 points at a neutral site, I don't think they deserve to
I
fall.
agree with that. No, I agree 100%. I like those top 4. I don't think there's really much of a case to be made for putting another
If
team ahead
Georgia,
of them.
if Georgia was more, and I mean it's funny saying this, but dominant, like they're not they're not the Georgia from Stetson Bennett and
They're
all that shit,
Yet they're
but
not.
they are the SEC champs and they
No,
have been dominant in
they're
some
for
games,
sure.
but it hasn't been all season long. It hasn't been like, oh yeah, Georgia's just going to beat this team by 40 points. So
100%. They're not anywhere near as good as they
yeah,
usually
so
are.
I'm fine with them being at 3. SEC champs, definitely probably deserve a bye. Uh, Unless it was Bama, because I don't think they'd climb up to 4. Texas Tech won the. I think having 3 conference champions in the top 4 is kind of how they intended it to be, uh, and I think them switching the rules a little bit by not giving that fourth team an automatic bye was also pretty smart
I agree because
because
in this
that way
case,
Tulane,
Tulane would have got an automatic bye. So
yeah,
going through the rest of these, at 5 you have Oregon. At 6 you got Ole Miss. At 7 you have A&M. At 8 you have Oklahoma. At 9 you have Bama. At 10 you have Miami, and then 11 Tulane getting the fourth highest ranked conference champion, and then at 12 you have JMU getting the fifth one over Duke. Obviously not going to put Duke in at 5-7, or sorry, 7 and
yeah,
5. But what
and
I
I don't.
will
I mean,
say, I think that they absolutely got it right with Miami over Notre Dame. They have the head to head. I'm gonna say I think they got it right with Alabama. I think they got it right with Alabama, and the reason I think they got it right with Alabama is because you can't punish Alabama. So Alabama was already in. Because I know
Yeah.
people are going to say, "Oh, well, BYU." So Alabama was already in the college football playoff. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
have to play an extra game that Oklahoma, A&M, and Ole Miss did not have to play. The reason that they had to play an extra game is because Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and A&M didn't make the conference championship game. So you can't punish Alabama for making the conference championship game, even if they lose, and then reward the three teams that didn't make the conference championship game. At that
Yeah.
point, you're that doesn't make any sort of sense.
It
And so
just
I'm glad.
eliminates if that were to happen, it eliminates the weight of the conference championship game. Like
And
people
not even
will deliberately throw a game
to
at the
not
end
make
of
the
the
conference
season to not
championship.
make it just so
Yeah,
if they're the freaking seventh team in the nation or not, maybe not seventh, but you know, if you're playing a damn good team and you're fifth in the nation and you're playing a top 15 team at least, or maybe a top 10 team, and you lose by 4 points, 7 points, drop down to 10, whatever, win your last couple games, move up a couple spots, you're at eighth, like, and now you don't have to play in your conference championship game. You're
yeah.
in. Like,
There'd be
there's
no
no way four
incentive.
teams are jumping you. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no incentive to win or to make it to the conference championship if you can get punished for making it to the conference championship. Um,
and I mean, they have the thing that just kind of blew my mind with that is, the committee set it all up. We mentioned it last week. The committee was setting it up to put Miami in over Notre Dame. Well, the only way they could do that was if they left Bama at 9. So
true.
if they would have moved Bama back to 10, then Notre Dame would have been at 9, Miami at 11. Technically, they're not next to each other, so you can't do head to head. And
And
then if they would have flip flopped them, then you're like just flip flopping them after having Notre Dame up there for the whole time, and they've been a couple spots apart, and you haven't flipped them, but you just waited till the end. So I could see why they did it. It's just weird not seeing Bama drop a single spot.
yeah, and I'm okay with it. I really thought that what they were going to do, to be honest, was move Alabama down a spot, move BYU down, and keep
Notre Dame and
Notre
Miami.
Dame. Yeah, put them right between Notre Dame and Miami, so you can't use that head to head. They did it though. Hats off, props to the college football playoff committee for not doing that. For putting Miami in, I think obviously, like I said, they have the head to head over it. I
Yeah,
like based off the current rules and the current format what we got. Uh, and then I think
yeah.
some of these games are gonna be good games in the first round. So I should say two of these games, half of the games. Oklahoma,
Are we,
Alabama was already a good game.
see, that's my gripe from the. That's really my only issue with it. Like, I can accept the Miami Notre Dame thing. You can accept the Bama thing because they played in the conference championship game. But I just they played a few weeks ago. I feel it was like a month ago, or like
They
5 weeks
did,
ago.
yeah.
Like I get it. Like I don't really want to see it again though. Like give me a different matchup I haven't seen this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Switch OU and Texas A&M, or
yeah, I don't,
and I think it's just
I see what you're saying.
I think it's just the shitty outcome of they kind of pushed Notre Dame out, and with doing that, they had to leave Bama at 9, which set up for the rematch.
Yeah,
And
I don't know if I really want the college football playoff committee ranking teams based off of like the most compelling matchups.
yeah,
Like, don't be
and
wrong, it would have been
I get
cool.
that. I
It would
get
be
that.
cool.
I'm
Yeah,
just, yeah, that's more of a fan thing, just complaining about that. But
yeah, no, I mean, I'm agreeing with you. They did just match up, and it was a good game, but
well, and my thing is Bama outgained them by 200 yards. They threw a pick six, and Oklahoma had a really long punt return that set up a touchdown drive. So realistically, like OU's special teams gave them 7, and then and OU's defense got them 7. They only scored 23 in the game, so it's like
for sure, yeah.
so the offense, besides getting set up by that punt return, didn't score a touchdown.
It's
And
gonna be
so
Oh, it's going to be a very sloppy game. Neither team has a good offense. Neither team has a good offense at all. Like, we just saw
Well,
Alabama rush for
when they
minus
came out
three
with,
yards.
yeah. Well, I want to say Georgia or not. I don't know why I thought Georgia. Bama against Georgia. That's why I said Georgia. But Bama's offense is like I think it's like top 25 in the nation. But OU's defense is number one. I
Yeah?
think in like certain categories.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
I think
it's top 10 overall, and then I think Bama's defense is pretty good, but OU's offense was like 78th in the country.
Jesus. Yeah, no,
So
OU's offense is bad, and Alabama's offense has played pretty poorly the last couple of weeks, like against Oklahoma the first time, against Georgia this week, or in the conference
I mean,
championship
yeah,
game. So,
if Ty Simpson gives the ball away, OU's probably going to win. And it's
yeah,
in Oklahoma. I don't know where they played last time. I think it was in Bama.
I think it was in Bama, but it is in Oklahoma, and
So,
that's another thing that I love with these first round matchups of the on campus
yeah.
games. Those are awesome.
My thing,
Um,
too, though, I mean, just one last little thing about it. Uh, I know we'll get to talking about the college football format and like alternatives and stuff, but I just think it's kind of a shame that like I don't know. I know JMU and Tulane like earned their right to be in the playoff, and I feel like JMU has a better chance against Oregon. I don't know why. I just kind of feel that way. Uh, but it like Notre Dame being left out and BYU being left out and Vandy in Texas. I don't know. When you start getting to 12, you start thinking about all these other teams that could get put in, and then you're like, oh damn, we should just make it a 64 team March Madness bracket so everyone gets in. No,
no,
but then you still complain about teams 65 through
yeah,
68. I mean, it's like,
that's that's my biggest gripe when people talk about expansion is like
yeah,
just because you expand now, if you say
people
went
just brag about
to
other stuff.
16 teams, then team 17 is gonna argue about it and be upset. Then they're gonna go
Yeah.
to 18 teams, and it's gonna be team 19 that gets mad. I don't think expansion is the right thing. I
You
don't want
want
to
to just
spoil
jump
it.
into that?
Let me go over the last three games real quick, and then we'll
Okay.
jump into that. Okay,
Okay.
so we have A&M in Miami, or Miami at A&M. Should be a good game. That's my second good game. Then we have Tulane and
I
Ole
think that's
Miss.
going to be I think both those games are going to be defensive. Very defensive.
1,000%. I think I go back and forth. I think Miami has like a super good defense, and Carson Beck is their quarterback. So yes, I agree that Miami won't put up points. Uh, I don't know if Miami will be able to stop Marcel Reed. I think they probably will be able to stop them a little bit, but
See,
that's a
I think
compelling
that
game to me.
A&M's defense is actually the one that worries me. I think Marcel Reed and them will kind of be held in check. I think they'll hold him in check running the ball. They'll make him beat him throwing it, and I think he'll struggle a little bit. Uh, Miami's defense, Miami's front seven is just so good, and
I
I
don't.
feel like
Yeah,
they're going to be able
I
to take over
agree.
the game.
I don't hate that take. I think it's a compelling matchup. I'll say that a compelling matchup.
Malachi
Um,
Tony gets hot too. That little freshman wide receiver. Carson
true,
Beck gets him the ball. He's electric.
true. Then we have Tulane, Ole Miss. They already played. Ole Miss dog walked them.
So,
Not
and
really
the thing with
expecting
that
anything
is
there.
too, I I don't know, dude. That like,
Are you going the Kiffin route here?
well, and I just think there's gonna be. I think it'll be closer than people think. I still think it's gonna be like a. I don't think it's gonna be a 35-point game. I think it'll be more like 20, 21.
Yeah,
But I think it'll
yeah.
be close for a little bit because I
I
think that OU team's gonna come out slow.
yeah, I can see that. I'm not. We're we still have a week before, so I don't want to like give too much away on picks, but I don't disagree with you on that. I'm thinking like a 21-point game.
Yeah, at least right
Um,
now.
yes, yeah, yeah. And then you have JMU, Oregon, and to be honest, JMU might lose by 100. They are so bad compared to the other teams in here. Now, like they did go 11-1 in the regular season and won their conference championship game. The Sun
They
Belt is
beat.
ass.
I know,
The
but
Sun
they
Belt is
beat the ever living crap out of everyone. Like the
they
championship game
did.
was close against Troy, but they beat the crap out of
They
everyone. Like
did,
there's
but
63-3. Like
did you watch that conference championship game? Because that was
they didn't look
some of
rough, but
the
I mean, it looked rough. They didn't look good,
no,
but
neither team looked good in that. Like I was like watching that game, and it was just like sloppy football everywhere that I think
yeah.
Oregon will take advantage of. You can't play
I mean,
sloppy against Oregon and hope to win.
I just think Oregon will manhandle them. Like Oregon, if they're bigger than teams, they just manhandle them. They just run the rock, and
Yeah,
Dante Moore just makes plays down the field,
yeah.
it's what they'll do. And I don't think JMU will be able to stop the run, but I think that game will be close for a little bit too because I feel like Oregon trying to run the rock. If they don't get it going early, it could stay like the clock will wind, score will stay low. But I
It
think
could be
Oregon will get
it
going at some point.
it could be one of those games where like at halftime it's like a 14-0 lead or like a 10-0
Yeah,
lead, and it's because each
14-3,
team's
stuff
had
like
like
that.
two drives,
Yeah,
and yeah, I could see that.
but
But
then
we'll
I think
get
Oregon explodes at some point, and just.
agree 100%.
But I can
Um,
see that's my like if I had to pick Tulane to win or JMU to win, I would pick JMU.
really, I would take
Yeah,
Tulane, but all right, it's an interesting one. Um, let's get over to the current college football playoff format because I think we both really want to talk about this. We can both agree the current college football current college football playoff format is quite ass. I think the four team. I'm gonna say it. I think the four team was better, and I don't think the BCS was that much worse. I think this is significantly worse
well,
than the four team and just as bad as a BCS.
if you look at the BCS and then the college football playoff committee, like they are almost identical. So like if you look at the actual computer rankings compared to the
If you do the top 12,
yeah, it like well if
oh
you look at the teams that just the top 25 in general, I think
yeah,
like Tulane, what are they ranked in the with the committee? Are they 20th or 19th?
I think they're 2019 right around there.
And I think in the BCS they have them at 19, and I think they have JMU at 20 or 21 or something like that.
Okay.
So they're both in the top 25 with the BCS model, and I
I
don't know. It's just very similar with all that.
Yeah,
Like
well,
it,
here's my and also here's my issue with the current college football playoff format. Regular season games aren't mattering as much, and conference championship games aren't mattering as much. Look, college football has
well,
always been, huh?
it starts with the people that are in the room. The fact
Oh,
that
I
there's
agree.
active ADs and active commissioners and stuff in there, like there's a few guys that are retired ex players or college
Isn't
football. Like,
the chairman was the Utah AD that like cried when they lost to BYU and like
yeah, I don't
it
know.
had
So
I
it's
don't know
like
if you remember it
yeah,
was like 2 or 3 years ago they lost to BYU on like a I'm not gonna
I
say a
just don't
great
think
called
people that are active, especially active in a Power Four conference,
one thousand
whether
percent.
it's an
I agree with that.
AD, a commissioner, uh, a president, anything like that, like there's so much bias, and
I
that ruins
agree.
so much of it. And like I don't know.
I agree 100%. But I think it starts even before the people that are in the room. It starts with 12 teams. Look, you have regular season games that aren't mattering. You have conference championship games that like ultimately aren't mattering, right? Like the biggest thing that happened in the Big Ten conference championship game was that they got flipped. And then the biggest thing that happened, nothing came of the SEC championship game. So
Nothing,
these
yeah.
conference championship games aren't mattering. And that's because you have 12 teams
Unless
in
it's
now
for the only time it matters. It the conference championship game value went down for Power Four schools,
and
and
up
it
for
went
group of five
up
schools.
for a group of five schools.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. So, but my issue then is that conference championship games, you have a perfect opportunity to make conference championship games the unofficial first round of the playoff. And the way you do that, drop it to 8 teams. Drop it to 8 teams. You're going to take your top five
Take the
conference
Power
champions,
Four.
yeah, Power Four plus one extra, because obviously when UCF cried because they didn't get in and Cincinnati cried when they got in and got destroyed, I'm okay
Yeah,
giving the group of five one,
at least one spot.
yeah, and then three at-large bids. And here's what would have happened. So like this year, Bama already had 2 losses, so they would have had to win their conference to make the conference or to make the
To make
playoffs.
it, yeah.
Do they get in
So
if they
well, so you
win?
basically would
Yes.
have Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, and
This is
Tulane
this
this year.
this year because Tulane and JMU get in, it gets a
Yeah,
little
so it'd be
wonky, but
Tulane and JMU. But then
yeah,
you'd have your three final teams, and that would be Ohio State because obviously they kind of deserve to be in that
yeah,
still.
they would deserve to be in it, and then you would take like an A&M or an Ole Miss. I mean, in this season, Ole Miss because they've actually like
Yeah,
beaten teams. A and
and
M,
Oregon.
yes. So those are your three at large, like Ole Miss, Ohio State, Oregon. Okay,
But
they
then
either
and then
didn't make their conference championship game or
yeah,
barely lost their conference championship game. So that's where I would start, and then this isn't college football playoff specific, but it plays into it. Bring back the divisions and conferences. So if you bring back the divisions and conferences, like we just said, A&M didn't really play anybody this year. If we, I made a map for a YouTube video actually, but I made a map. So if you split the, if you split, if
SEC.
you're watching this, I'm gonna put. If you're watching the video version of this, I'm gonna put the map up here. So if you take the map and then you split it by Eastern and Western Division, and you have Mississippi and Mississippi State and Ole Miss, that's like the edge of the Western Division. So everybody
Mm-hmm.
west of them is in the West. Everyone east of them is in the East. They would have Ole Miss or A&M would have had to play Ole Miss, Texas, and Oklahoma. There's
Yeah,
a very real possibility they lose all three of their games, those games, and they're not in the playoff discussion anymore. Instead, they play a bunch of shit teams relative to
but
the SEC.
that's the issue with super conferences
Agreed,
is
and I
you
don't
had
even
that with
think it's
Indiana last year, and
one
they went and
hundred
got their
percent.
shit smacked against a good team.
Yeah,
That's
and I
my
don't even.
worry with A&M, but they did play an SEC schedule, and most SEC teams are above average football teams.
Yes, 100%.
But
But if you just did the divisions, and even in the Big Ten, if you did that and you did an East and a West, you would have had like Ohio State would have played Indiana and Michigan. So like that right there in the regular season, and then Ohio State or Indiana, only one of them is making the conference championship game, and they're probably playing Oregon. I think that's a better system because now
yeah,
we're getting that de facto division, de facto playoff game in the middle of the season when Indiana and Ohio State play. We're getting an extra
hmm
playoff game in the conference championship game, even though it's not an
it
official
just
one.
gets more.
It
We
gets
need more
more
big teams to play head to head, so we
exactly
can like decipher. You
that,
know,
and
that way
in
you can
college
shut down
football,
arguments. But
and
I mean,
college
I get it.
football has been built on one loss could ruin your season. And if one loss can ruin your season, then every freaking week is a playoff game. Like if you want to
Hmm.
make it to the playoffs, then win your conference. That's a first step. Or go to the conference championship and barely lose, or not make the conference championship but lose to the eventual champion who's in your division but make it close. Like win your games, win your conference, you're in. And that's we don't have that. We've almost made it a participation trophy. Like because of the lack of divisions, um, I think 8 of the teams were either undefeated or had one loss in the regular season, or 7 of the teams, and that's not including JMU and Tulane, by the way.
It just creates too many tiebreakers, and then you have
Too
crazy
many
scenarios where
tiebreakers,
you
too
have
many
Duke
crazy
making it.
scenarios. Yeah, so I think those two things are the biggest factors that I would do.
Okay, I like that. Mine is I would do the 16 team at this point since we're already at 12. You do the four Power Four champs, highest group of five, auto bids. So you get 5 auto bids, not not auto buys though. Or well,
Okay.
obviously no one would have buys, so
Yeah, no one
16
would have
teams.
bias here.
So you would have them ranked. So let's say in this case, Tulane is out of that top 16 and JMU, they would be 15, 16. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So in that case, since they didn't make the top 16, they get de facto like, yeah, you made it, but now you have to go play the number 1 or 2 team in the nation. Uh, that way you get, I don't, so the way I feel about it, like the number 1 team plays the winner of, or wait, no, sorry. I had that mixed up. Sorry. I was thinking of something. So scratch that. I do want to read this tweet that I saw though about how this guy would fix bowl seasons. Kind of how I got my idea from it.
Okay.
Uh, you get the you get the 5 auto bids. You get
Okay.
11 at large bids,
Okay.
and you have some sort of computer ranking mixed with people that aren't in like
So the
actually
BCS
active.
system
Yeah,
practically.
a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, like I mean, we have so much more computer stuff. Like you can go
I
through, you can do more than
I
just the BCS.
so
But
I'm okay. Hold real quick. I'm gonna pause you right there because I was thinking about that the other day. In this day and age, a computer system ranking makes significantly more sense than it did back in 2002.
well, and the fact that we had a computer system back in the day, and then we scrapped it for humans to just make decisions, and then like now everyone's like, damn, that was a dumb idea.
Hmm.
Like we need to go back to computers. And like you have so many different like it's the BCS and the blah 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 and the the John Paul rankings and the random ass like random
John Paul
names and
rankings.
like I'm just spitting random shit, like they got like random dudes they'll just attach their names to their algorithm. And
Do you know there was a Pope John Paul? And when you said John Paul, I thought of the Pope making um, computer rankings or college football rankings.
good lord, good lord. Uh
Dude, we
no,
could make
so
I could make a graphic for that and it would be top notch.
God. uh so with those 11 auto bids, they just go to the highest ranking teams. Uh the first round games still on campus. The Power Four champs are guaranteed top 8 seed.
Okay.
So if let's say BYU won it this year and they were the ninth ranked team, they would become the eighth ranked team, and that's a reward for winning your conference. You get a home playoff game.
Okay.
Uh, the Power Four champ. Okay, so and then your New Year's Six games are still your quarterfinal and semifinal games, and then your championship game rotates between the NFL stadiums. That stays. Uh, with the teams, the group of five teams that didn't. This is where he added this in, and I thought it was pretty cool. Uh, he said for the team that didn't make for obviously the one group of five team makes it, or if more are ranked in the top
Yeah,
16,
yeah.
but introduce an eight team an eight, not 18, an 8 team group of five playoff. And so when it basically would turn into the group of six nowadays because the Pac-12 is back, I guess.
Yeah.
So you would have Pac-12, Mountain West, American, the MAC, Sun Belt, and Conference USA. And you would get. So he's saying that you would take the champions from that, the five champions because one of them would be in the playoff,
Yeah, right, right.
and then you'd get 3 at-large bids. So you still give those teams a chance to make the playoff, but if they don't, their season's not completely over. Uh, he also threw in some crazy stuff, dude. He wants to make bowl eligibility 8 wins instead of 6, and I kind
I
of like,
did see. I know what tweet you're talking about. I did. That was like the
yeah,
one thing where I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
yeah. And then he just said some other stuff, but I was like, huh, I kind of like he wants to keep it Power Four, only make it, but I think Group of Five still deserves to get one team in. Just give them one.
I see.
Uh,
Here's my thing: is that they're all playing in the same division. Like the Group of Five, the Power Four. Those are just things that like us as fans and people in the media have come up with
well, yeah,
to
I mean it's just
separate
because
those
your
conferences.
conference. Yeah,
But at the end of the day, they're all the same like league, and really each conference is their own league.
yeah,
Sorry, I heard a noise behind me. Really, each conference is their own league, but they're all the same division. They're all the same
mm-hmm.
FBS, and so I hate when people want to split them up and act like they're two different. Like, oh, well, Group of Five can have their thing and Power Four have their thing. Like, if those Group of Five teams wanted to have their own thing, they just go join FCS. So, to
Yeah.
me, it's like if we're all playing, let's all
No, I
play for the
agree.
same thing if we're in the same division.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. And
And then again, I don't like I think that a shrunken playoff, it's an interesting one, for sure. Interesting one for sure. Personally, I like a shrunken playoff, um, but no, I think the 8 team that's crazy. 8 team or 8 wins for a to be bowl eligible is crazy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that. I just think right now, dude, we need a change. The what we have now, with 2 years of it, hey, look, it didn't work. Like, and I also just don't get the I don't get why we even went to a 12-team playoff in the first place. I don't think the 4 team was that bad. Like, what made it
Yeah.
bad, and here's the thing, it was never gonna work when you had. I guess this actually me didn't say I get why we did it. It was never gonna work when you had 5 so-called power conferences and 4 playoff spots. Like, that was, you theoretically could have 5 teams go undefeated and win their conference champion, and one's getting left out. So I get it from that point. So this
Hmm.
system was designed for 5 power conferences, but I still think that it just devalues the meaning of regular season games too much.
I can agree with that.
Okay, now that we've talked about the college football playoff, we also had the Heisman race. We kind of not get settled, but we have a better picture. We got the 4 finalists. Those 4 finalists, Nick, are Julian Sayin, Drew Pavia, Fernando Mendoza, and
Diego.
Jeremiah Love. Um, I know you have all their stats. I'm gonna just let you talk about their stats for a minute.
All right. So I'm not going in any particular order based off of my preferences or nothing. I'm just reading stats right here. So,
Reading stats.
almost said Jordan Love. Jeremiah Love, 12 games, 199 carries, 1,372 yards for 6.9 yards a carry, 18 touchdowns. Uh, had 27 catches for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. So 226 touches for like 1,600, almost 1,700
Yeah,
yards,
that's a
and
lot. That's
21
a lot of yards.
touchdowns. Uh, yeah, about the same amount of yards as he had last year per touch.
Per
Uh,
touch.
then you go to Diego Pavia. He played 12 games also. It was 242 for 340 passing, 71.2%. Threw for 3,192 yards, 9.4 yards an attempt, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Also had 152 carries for 826 yards and 9 touchdowns, 5.4 yards a carry. And then Julian Sayin, 13 games, 279 for 356, 78.4%. I'm pretty sure he's close to the completion record. Uh, 3,323 yards at 9.3 yards an attempt, 31 touchdowns, and 6 picks. He has -2 rushing yards. He doesn't run the ball at all. He's statue.
He's a
Statue running wise. Can
statue
move in
running
the
wise.
pocket. Mendoza, 13 games also. He is 226 of 316, 71.5%, 2,980 yards, 9.4 yards an attempt, 33 touchdowns, 6 picks, 69 rushes, 240 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
All
And then
right.
those rushing numbers include sack yardage too. So
I hate that sack yardage gets counted towards rushing yardage.
it's
Those are
yeah,
two different things. Yeah,
in
split
high
those
school
stats
and
up.
college it sucks.
Yeah. Um. Cool. So okay, we got the stats. So
Can
I'm
I
gonna
throw a
add a
little
little
tidbit
bit.
out there about Jeremiah Love real quick?
Throw a little tidbit out there.
Jeremiah Love last year had 36 less touches on the ground. He had one more reception than he did this year. Averages same amount of yards per carry. Had one less touchdown.
So he's had a
Basically,
statistically worse year.
basically about the same exact year. If last year they would have gave him 36 more touches, he would have had, what is it, 1,372 yards. Like, he was basically used 4 times more per game this year. That was it. 4 touches more per game. And only accrued one more touchdown on those 4 extra touches per game. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he had a very, very similar year to last year.
I would say not only very similar, but just a tad bit worse. Now, to be fair, Jadarian Price has had a very good year. To be fair to Jeremiah Love, They did
Yeah, I mean,
definitely
it's not
use.
his fault that he splits, but
Yeah, yeah. I guess it kind of is his
well,
fault. If he was a little bit better, he wouldn't be splitting. But
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
uh, but I mean, now we're kind of like really nitpicking. Um, Now I'm gonna add a little bit of those on those stats because I didn't do all of their stats, but I did do what they rank in some important stats. So,
So,
starting
see,
off with,
before you get started on that, I do. I want to say I don't take too much stock into yards thrown because like Fernando has thrown the ball 40 less times than Sayan, so he obviously has almost 400 less passing yards. But Mendoza has more yards per attempt, so I kind of look for those more. Like it's kind of what I look for. Like I look for
I
like touchdowns, picks, completion percentage, yards per attempt. Uh, but just because of like sometimes these four players here have they also sit out games because of garbage time too because they've been up
yes,
so much. So it's like
yeah. My thing is, I think if you're gonna win the Heisman, you got to put up the stats too. So
you
I
should
see
have good
your
stats,
point, but
yes.
you should have the stats also. Like we
Yeah.
shouldn't be like, oh well, um,
Yes.
Haynes King would have been better had he thrown the ball more, but he didn't get to. I think if you're talking Heisman, like you got to put the stats up too.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm
Um,
not saying like Sayan's only thrown it 40 more times than Mendoza. Like that's only like a game worth. Like so it's not like, it's that big of a
yeah,
difference,
yeah, yeah.
but
So
go
Julian
ahead.
Sayin, start with him. Julian Sayin is 10th in passing yards, 19th in passing yards per game. Obviously, he had an extra game to play in the conference championship game. First in completion percentage, the absolute bananas percentage of was like 78.6 or something. Insanely good.
78-4. I think
78.4.
he's very close to the record. I think if he
He
goes over 80% in the playoffs, and I think if they win the Natty, if he goes like those 3 or 4 games, and he gets, I think it's just under. I think the record's just under 80%. So he's
yeah,
like right there.
he's right there. And then he's third in passing touchdowns, just under Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza is 23rd in passing yards, 44th in passing yards per game. He is sixth in completion percentage, and then he is first in passing touchdowns. And then Pavia is 14th in passing yards, 13th in passing yards per game, and then eighth in completion percentage, tied ninth in passing touchdowns. And then J
And
Love,
then
fourth
you got
in
to
rushing
think with
yards.
Pavia too. He led his team in rushing,
Pavia
and he had
did
those
lead his
nine
team in
rushing
rushing.
touchdowns.
And then J Love is third in rushing touchdowns. So here, if I had a vote, well, I'm not gonna say if I had a vote. I'm
What is
going.
Jeremiah Love in rushing yards this year? Anyways, isn't he barely top 10?
He finished fourth somehow.
Are
He had
we
a
sure about
very,
that?
according to the NCAA
Fourth?
rushing. Yep, he finished
Really?
fourth in rushing yards. Yeah.
He
Um,
did. Dang.
yeah. Cam Cook from Jacksonville State was first.
Yeah. Okay.
Ahmed Hardy finished second, which I was
See, I
surprised
thought
by.
Lacey ran for more than him.
No, I would have thought that too, but he did not. Emmett Johnson though, third, pretty good.
He toted the rock this year.
Well,
251 carries.
especially after Raiola went down.
Yeah.
With that though, so here I'm gonna say you could make the argument for any of these guys. Well, before I even say that, I'm gonna say this:
Except Jeremiah
Jeremiah
Love.
Love had an absolute terrible start to his season. Absolute
Yes.
terrible start to his season. Okay, so first game against Miami, 33 yards on 10 carries. Then against A&M, 94 yards. Then Purdue, 157 yards, good game. Arkansas, 57 yards. Boise State, 103 yards. And then NC State, 86 yards. So that is the first half of the season right there. And he only had 2 games over 100 rushing yards against Purdue and Boise State. That's quite bad. Then USC didn't play run defense at all when they played, and he went off for 228 yards. Incredible performance.
USC started the Jeremiah Love Heisman train.
USC started the Jeremiah Love Heisman train. Then against BC, he's 136 yards. Against Navy, only 94 yards. And then Pitt, 147 yards. Syracuse, 171 yards. And then finishes the year with 66 yards. Great second half. Absolute phenomenal second half of the season. Just a terrible start. So I think it comes down to how you're looking at Heisman, right? If you're looking for the guy that's putting up the best stats, looking the best, you're going to go Sayin. If you're looking for the best player on who is probably the best team, you're going to go Mendoza. If you're looking at who elevated their team the most, you're going to go Pavia, right?
Yep.
Pavia got Vanderbilt to where they were at. And then if you're looking like who's in the best form, who's playing the best right now, we're going to go J Love. Um, and then I do think before we get into who our picks are, and when we do that, we're going to do who we think will win and who we would vote for. I do want to just say, and I know you have a couple on here too. There's a few snubs. I'm going to let you go with your snubs first.
Uh, well, my main snub, I know we have a couple of the same ones, but my
Yeah.
biggest one was Jacob Rodriguez, the do-it-all linebacker from Texas Tech. Uh, yeah, 7 forced fumbles, 4 picks. I think he's 100-something tackles, 100 tackles. Has a rushing touchdown. I'm pretty sure he has a defense touchdown or two. Like he's literally done it all. He's the best player on that defense, the captain of that defense, and that is probably a top 5 defense in college football. And he's scoring touchdowns on the offense side of the ball, or at least he scored a touchdown. Uh, I just think he should have been there. And I mean, I get like Jeremiah Love, yeah, he's playing great right now, but Jacob Rodriguez did it all year. He did it all year and whooped everyone's butt all year long. And then I know you had this guy down to Marcel Reed. I think that one loss and everyone is just like completely wrote Texas A&M off and completely disregarded
Yeah,
everyone on that
especially
team.
with it coming late in the last game of the
Yeah.
season. That's like a recency bias thing in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I am with you on both of those. J Rod, I think I'm gonna I'm gonna say J Rod's snub. Oh my
So
gosh, a snub, a snug. Um, but also like if Aiden Hutchinson didn't win the Heisman and he was a finalist, like I don't think a defensive guy's going to win it for a while. And I know people go, well, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter was a two-way player. A guy who was like very
yeah.
good, not great at both sides. Reminds me of a pitcher hitter combo who's like mid, I guess.
No,
Um,
I mean, come on. He won the Blitnikoff. I mean,
I just wanted to
Travis
get a
Hunter was
jab at
like
I just wanted to get a jab at Otani right there. So
Otani. Yeah.
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I
yeah,
mean
he
Travis
just
Hunter, good at both. Don't get me wrong, very good player.
in college he was great at both.
Yeah, but I just think if you're he obviously won it mainly as a receiver that played DB. If he
Yeah.
was just a DB, he's not winning the Heisman.
Yeah, I agree.
But so if Hutchinson didn't win it, he as a we haven't had a
Hmm.
defensive player win it in a while. I don't think that J Rod is necessarily had a better year than Hutchinson did. So I think that kind of is like a retroactive snub to Hutchinson. But at the same time, like it's this year.
Hmm.
And then I think Marcel Reed, I'm with you there. Marcel Reed
Hmm.
absolutely should have been invited. Like he got Texas A&M to kind of where they are in the same sense that Pavia got Vandy to where they are. And then I'm gonna throw another one at you. Justice Haynes. Justice Haynes rushed for over 100 yards in every game that he played, except the game he left at halftime in against USC, where he rushed for 50 yards. So 100 yards if you do the math there. Um, I just don't think injury should be like a disqualifier. You look at the part of the season he did put together. He really should have been invited.
Yeah, he what 872 yards in like 6 or 7 games.
Yeah,
I mean,
insane
he had
stats.
more yards per carry than Jeremiah Love. He probably would have replaced Jeremiah Love if he would have stayed healthy.
100%. But I guess now we talked about snubs. People, we got them on the edge of their seat. Who do you think is going to win the Heisman?
So who do I think? Not who do I want?
Who do you think? Not who would you vote for?
I think Fernando's going to win it. I think winning the Big Ten championship is going to sit well into people's minds, and he's got more combined touchdowns than any of the 4 guys. And I mean, granted, he has only thrown for 44, or he's 44th in yards per game, but he's I think he's combined most passing and rushing touchdowns in all of college football,
I
and
agree with you.
he only has 6 turnovers. So
I agree with you. I think he is going to win it. Indiana's kind of like the darling for college football right now. Everyone, no one hates Indiana
it's because
because
they're
they've been
new.
because they're new. They're the new kids on
Mm-hmm.
the block, and everyone's liking them. They're the popular thing to do right now. The popular team right now to root for. And then Fernando Mendoza. I mean, you had people saying that he had a Heisman moment on a routine fade route to ice the game.
I
I
mean,
know.
I still stand on it was a good throw, just because if you put like if you put just an average quarterback back there, like that just yeah, it's a fade route. Yeah, it's just a normal fade route. Uh, he still put the ball where it needed to be. One, it was an NFL throw in a college game. Uh, Two, it was in a Big Ten championship in the biggest game for Indiana since World War II. Like they haven't won a Big Ten championship since I think just after or just before.
I think
So
they won one in like '67, but it was like a split title. I think
okay,
their last
a
like
solo.
solo title was like yeah,
So like literally like a biggest game in goddamn like 75 years. Like just the context of it is why people I get why people are calling it a Heisman moment. Uh, he is a Heisman candidate and a potential first overall pick for a reason. He should be able to make that throw. Uh, I just don't think like Johnny Manziel was giving him shit. Like I get it, dude. Like, but did Johnny Manziel make those throws in a SEC championship game or in a like? I mean, like I don't. He might have. Like I don't remember him winning. Did he win an SEC championship?
I was
I know
trying
they
to
beat
think about that.
Bama,
I don't think
but
they
like,
actually won a title though.
but like Johnny was also a first round draft
And
pick.
and,
Like he
and
was a
before
quarterback that was
before
supposed to make
anyone
that throw.
before anyone comes at us for being like you guys don't know if Johnny Manziel and A&M won, like you guys don't remember like Manziel Mania, dude. We were like 11 during that, so no,
Nah,
we don't.
maybe not 11, but
I
when
think
was it?
Johnny Manziel played in like 2011, 2012. Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
I'm gonna
I want to
say
see. He's 33.
2000. He I believe won the 2012 Heisman, if I remember right.
Yeah, he did. So I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, we were 13.
yeah, we were 12, 13.
Yeah. So I mean,
So
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's why we don't remember. But I don't know. I just think that I expect. I think the Heisman moment should be reserved for incredible things that like only a Heisman winner would do, right? Like Reggie Bush's 500 all-purpose yard game,
Hmm.
stuff like that. Not a routine throw in a big moment. I expect a Heisman finalist. I expect 40% of Power Four quarterbacks to be able to make that throw in that moment, and I expect all of them to be able to make that throw in any moment. So not that moment in a random
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
To me, that
It
wasn't a
just the
Heisman moment.
magnitude. Yeah, it was just a great throw, in my opinion. It's
It
not
was a
somebody
great
like
throw.
I think his Heisman moment was the drive against Penn State.
I okay, so
It doesn't matter how he played beforehand.
I know that was an
It's
incredible
not a
drive
Heisman
by
game.
him.
It's a Heisman moment.
If you're okay, yes, I don't like. I still, as much as I glazed Gus Johnson's call, I still hate the give him the Heisman now. That was horrible. That was a terrible.
His voice all cracking.
It was a good call, except the inflection in his voice. But like the actual content of that call, the actual like give him the Heisman now after escaping Penn State, no,
It's just
terrible
the
part
moment.
there.
It's just the moment.
It was no,
That's
get me
why
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like that drive, he looked incredible in that drive. But like, are we really gonna say his Heisman moment came in his first good drive of the day when he sucked ass for 58 minutes? That's my thing. Is like, I think we're giving. I think a lot of people want Mendoza to win, and I agree that he will win because of it. But I think if I think we're being like like
well,
people in general are glazing him because they want him to win, and they're finding those reasons for
everyone
him to
is
win.
trying to find a
Yes,
Heisman moment. Like
yes.
sometimes, I mean, and they're grasping at anything to make it bigger because he doesn't have a Johnny Manziel against Bama play. Like,
100%. And I'm gonna say that like there
but that's
doesn't even need to
fine.
be a Heisman moment every year. I don't think there needs
Yeah,
to be a Heisman moment. Not everyone's gonna have a Heisman moment. That's what makes them so great. It's like, holy shit, this dude just did this. Give him the Heisman. And I don't
yeah.
think that you can look at anything that Mendoza or for that matter anybody. If you're gonna say a Heisman game, J Love
Mhm.
against USC. 200 plus yards on the ground was incredible, but I don't think that we've really had a Heisman moment this year. But I agree with you. Now, who would get your vote if we had votes? Who are you voting for?
So if I had to write down first through fourth, uh, and I would pick Pavia to win. Uh, I would also put Mendoza second and Say in third, strictly just off of. And I know, I mean, I think Mendoza has more total touchdowns, uh, and they're pretty close on total yards when you combine rushing and passing. Sayin has them on completion percentage, which is a pretty big deal. They both don't really turn the ball over, but I mean, I mean, I feel like those first three could literally go either way. But if I were to have a vote, it'd be Pavia, Mendoza, Sayin, Love.
I'm going saying at one. I think and I think it really comes down to like kind of the stats you value. I value stats a little bit more in Heisman than you. I don't think that's necessarily I'm not like I don't think it's like oh well you don't value this enough. Like I think it's kind of a teach their own on how they value the best player in college football. I value
And the
stats
thing is with that
especially.
too is I feel like they go with it's kind of like the MVP also for the NFL. So they go with the
I
best player on they go with the quarterback on the best team.
and I
And
don't
it's
think
like
that it should be.
me either. But that's why you have three quarterbacks in here.
Very true, 100%. I mean, theoretically, if you're scoring the best player, which is what the Heisman is, like an offensive lineman should be able to win it. An offensive lineman is never going to win it. Like
Well, it just should at least be a skill player. Like a skill player should have more chances.
it should absolutely should be.
Like Makai Lemon should have a chance. Like sometime. Like if he like I'm not saying like he was like one of the best receivers in college football,
Yeah,
but like when a receiver has that crazy year and he puts
yeah,
up
absolutely.
you know
Absolutely, they should.
125, 140 yards a game, and he has 1,800 receiving yards in 12 games, like
Absolutely, he
and
should.
20 touchdowns. But if that were to happen and he was on a good team, they just fucking give it to his excuse my language. They just give it to his quarterback,
1,000%.
and it's like so. I mean, I think it's man, it's just it gets me all riled up because it's annoying because once again it's just a bunch of freaking randoms that just get to decide.
dude, there are
And I
a
mean,
lot of
they just
casuals in college football press
yeah,
positions
and
that
they
get
just
votes
yeah,
right now.
they're all biased, and I mean,
They are also about it's because we give it to beat reporters, which I don't understand. Maybe back in the day was a good idea. Um, I mean, and we're gonna go on. We could go on a 10-minute tangent about. We could go on an hour
yeah.
long tangent about this.
Well, and then that provides even more bias. Is like if a USC beat reporter's on there,
Who do you think they're
he's
gonna vote
putting
for?
he's
A
putting not
USC
putting
player.
Jeremiah Love freaking
Yeah,
first, or he's not putting
exactly.
him
Like
first, second, or third. He's going to make sure he gets as little points as possible. Like
100%.
and I mean, I don't know how many people are on the Heisman voting board or whatever they have, but like you're telling me you can't scrap together freaking 75 ball knowers that
You should
aren't
just
involved with the school? Like
yeah, just get the
you're
ball
telling me you don't
knowers.
have someone that's
Get your
between 40 and 60 that will watch ball?
get your Joel Klatt. Well, I guess Joe Klatt, calling games for Fox might be a little bit of a conflict of interest. But give me your Josh
But
Pates. Give me
that's
those
not
two
as big
guys
of a
from
deal.
Saturday Hashmarks. Get them on the board. They're
My
great.
thing with it is just the beat writer. Like like Joel Klatt's not a beat writer. Like
True. That is true. And I
like
know I agree. Like I think
give it to Gus Johnson. I mean, he probably has Big Ten bias, but
you know what? No.
like
Hold on. We're cooking here, because to balance that out, we're gonna give it to Kirk Herbstreit, and
Chris Fowler,
We'll
and
go Chris Fowler. We'll go that. That
I
balances.
mean, I'm sure
By
they
the
probably
way,
have them, Saban and like those guys, like ball knowers, like retired
yes,
coaches, guys that aren't involved in the sport anymore,
yeah, 100.
that
percent
or like beat reporter, like it can't just be freaking Joe Schmo who got hired by freaking USC for $26,000 a year to write 2 blogs a week, like, and bro's doing it for his side gig, like because
I'm with you.
and and it's like that. You're telling me that that guy is going to control whether Fernando Mendoza or Julian Sayin or Diego Pavia win the Heisman? That's what's crazy to
1,000%.
me.
Yeah. Real quick, speaking of Reese Davis, did you hear his rant during the game, the conference, the SEC game? Was it the SEC
Mm,
championship game?
I think
Yeah.
that's what
Oh
they
my
called. Yeah.
God. Dude, he went on like a 4 minute rant. Like it had to have been 4 minutes about how Alabama should still get in and how Texas should get in because they have to go play an
SEC,
SEC schedule. And
SEC,
then
ESPN.
dude, he literally finished it with he said, "That's not SEC bias. That's just the truth." Like it was the most tone deaf thing when everyone's accusing you of being biased to do. Um it was absolutely horrible. It was really funny. I'm sure it is all over YouTube right now. So definitely watch that. But yeah, I mean, I'm going say in one. I'm going Pavia two.
Okay.
I'm going Pavia two, and then I'm going Love three. Reason I'm going Love three is because you got to do it for the whole season. You can't just do it for half the season. And I'm going Mendoza four. This is the guy who's thrown for 300 yards once all year, thrown for 300 plus yards one time. So I'm going Mendoza four. Um, but yeah, no, I think when do we find out who wins the Heisman? When is that announced? Heisman
I'm not sure. I
announcement.
think it's in a couple weeks. Or
December
was it like
13th. It's in 3 days.
Oh, 3 days. Damn.
It's in
Saturday.
3 days. Um,
It's
7
before
p.m.,
bowl
4 p.m.
season, I
our
guess.
time. Yeah. So we'll know in 3 days how it turns out. I think Mendoza will win it. I don't think Mendoza should win it. And I don't think I have anything else to say about the Heisman.
No.
We do have some bowl games this week, though. We had 2 bowl games this week. As we have 2 bowl games in a regular season game, which we'll get to in a minute. We have the Celebration Bowl, which is South Carolina State versus Prairie View A&M. Now, that is, I mean, that's going to be a game a lot of people put on in the background.
Yeah. FCS game. I'm pretty sure it's in. I'm pretty sure they're HBCU, so I'm pretty sure they're
Yeah, it's an yeah,
FCS.
and so I actually think that this is a really cool bowl.
It's the two winners of
The two winners of the two HBCU schools conferences, the
yeah,
SWAC and the
the SWAC and the
MEAC. Um, One of the things I think is really cool about it, it's the de facto national championship of black college football, and that is read directly from the Wikipedia article. So,
I don't, because I don't think they send teams to the
yeah,
FCS.
they don't, and I think that that's really cool. I mean, I'm not gonna get into the history and the social civil rights or issues and all that, but the fact that they kind of have had to HBCUs have had to and black people in general have kind of had to have their own leagues. I think it's really cool that they still have a bowl that is the de facto national championship for HBCUs. Um, when the MEAC or the SWAC and you're in that game, I think it's a very very cool bowl to watch, and I
Hmm.
think it's I think I like how it kind of has. Now it doesn't have its own day, but I don't think there's any games that are on at the same time. I think we have 3 games total this week, and they're kind of back to back to back. So I think it's a really cool thing.
Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go Prairie View. I think they're gonna win. They got their quarterback's a good running quarterback. They don't really, it doesn't really have very many passing touchdowns. I think he's like 17 passing touchdowns or whatever, but he has missed a couple games this year, it looks like. Uh, but they got two quarterbacks who seem like they're pretty well. They can both run the ball. They have two running backs that are good. So I think I'll go with Prairie View A&M.
I didn't realize we were doing picks, so I didn't look into them.
Oh, I
But
thought
no,
that's why
we
you
can
wrote
no
them
no no
down.
we can do picks because I have a I this next one I can do. I just did not watch a lot of FCS ball,
So
so
I just
I'm gonna
looked at their
take.
stats and just
I
looked at
didn't
like
even
who.
do that. I'm
South
gonna
Carolina
go.
State is 9-3. Prairie View A&M's 10-3.
I was
So
gonna go Prairie View A&M. They got four words in their name. I think that's kind of cool, and I know what their logo looks like. I don't know. I know what SC State's logo looks like. So I was gonna go once you started doing picks. I was gonna go Prairie View A&M just because I know them. Again, I have not watched a lot of FCS ball this year. And if I do watch FCS ball, give me the Ivy League, dude. Give me the Ivy League. Ivy League is. I'm not gonna say good football, but it's
hey, Yale
interesting.
almost went to Montana State and beat them. It was 21-13.
Dude, Yale beat Harvard.
I know.
That was a big game.
Jackson
Um,
Santiago balled out
dude,
in
I
that
keep trying
game.
to find like a favorite Ivy League school, and I keep like going back and forth between like Cornell and Columbia, and I can't pick which one I like more.
Me
So,
either. Yeah.
um, but then the other bowl, the LA Bowl, and that is Boise State versus Washington. Now, Boise State obviously is a
Washington's
better
gonna
group of
kill them.
five team. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Kill them. They're gonna
Um,
kill them.
I'm not gonna say kill him. I'm not gonna say kill him. Actually, I'm gonna say Boise State will hang with Washington. Washington will win.
I
You are not a Boise State believer this year, Nick.
that backup quarterback that they have is not that good. If they don't run the ball on UW, dude, it's gonna be a long day for Boise.
It could be. I'm not. I'm not arguing that at all. I think that they could kill them. But I think Boise State's also like a good group of five team that can hang. They can hang with a mid tier FBS team or Power Four team, and
I
UW
just
was a
think
mid tier
Washington's
FBS
pretty
team.
good, who just had to play a tough Big Ten schedule.
I think they're kind of that upper mid tier. Like I
They're
would
just a
say,
step
like
below USC.
yeah, I
I
would say
feel
if
like
USC is like lower good tier or middle good tier, that UW is upper mid tier.
yeah, I'd say they're probably like eighth best team to 10th best team in the Big Ten. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, While we're talking about bowls, though, there are three bowl games that I am very much looking forward to this year.
Yep. I wrote down three also. I think we have one of them the same. Uh, that's
Is it
just,
the
I mean,
is it because it's the best bowl to ever exist?
yeah, and it just so
Yeah,
happens to
sick.
be a matchup between
It's a very good matchup
two
this year.
top
It was a very
25
not
teams.
good matchup last year. It was my favorite bowl to watch. Starting, not this is an audit. I'm going to save that one for third. The Pinstripe Bowl, Clemson and Penn State, the battle of the very overranked to
Uh,
start the year and ended up being ass. Which, by the way, Nick, two teams that I said would be ass this year. Unfortunately, I was not posting anything at the time, so I can't go back and prove it. But I know that there's got to be a text somewhere between me and you. I very, very, very vividly remember texting
you're
you that
capping,
Clemson was
dude.
ass.
You're capping.
Dude, you're capping now because I vividly remember sitting
No, you
at the
were on
Coliseum being like, Clemson is ass this
you
year.
were on the train before even the rankings first came out. You were like,
Yeah,
Clemson is not that good.
Clemson. I did not think Clemson would be that good. I was vindicated. Thank you for confirming that, Nick. But yeah, no, I mean when you have like two teams that like both are ass and they both can like win their end the season on a good note, and they're two like if someone would have said Clemson and Penn State were playing at the beginning of the year in a bowl game, most people are thinking playoffs, and it was not that. It's the Pinstripe Bowl. Also, cool venue, Yankee Stadium. Um,
Hmm.
I really like when you play a game at baseball stadiums and you can see the dugouts and there's no one in the
Yeah.
dugouts. I think it's so cool, and you see the players come out of the dugouts
Hmm.
because that's where the locker room tunnels are. Um, and then my second, the ReliaQuest Bowl. That's Iowa and
Oh dang,
Vandy.
looks like we got two of the same.
Two of the same.
I have that
There
one
we
down
go.
there too.
I think that's gonna be a great game. Iowa's like a good, not
Same.
great team. Vandy's a good, not great team. They're both very good, not great. I think
I want to see Pavia against that Iowa defense.
I also want to see that, and I really do think that Iowa has like a decent quarterback, and I kind of want to see how he plays against another, an SEC defense. And then what I am saying is the best bowl ever to be bowled in the existence of bowl
It's
games
not a
is
college football playoff bowl.
I think this one might beat all of them. That's the Pop Tart Bowl, baby. Give me the Pop Tart Bowl. If you have not watched the Pop Tart Bowl, tune in to watch the Pop Tart Bowl. Go on YouTube and just Google Pop Tart Bowl. They have their mascots are life size, not even life size. They're ginormous,
Giant. Yeah.
giant Pop Tarts. And at the end of the game, they put one of them in a giant toaster, and he like holds up a sign that says like I'm sacrificing myself for the winning team. And then it lowers him slowly, and it's dramatic. He actually kind of dances up to there's a whole choreographed dance up to the toaster, and then he comes out and then the team eats him, and like they put like a real giant Pop Tart for the winning team to eat. And so it's great regardless of who plays in it. But this year, we get Georgia Tech and BYU, and those are two very good, just missed the playoff. Go back 3 weeks, and you said that they're playing in a bowl game. Like, the legit chance that was there was a legit chance of this being a playoff game 3 weeks ago.
It's probably the best bowl game that's not a college football playoff
1,000%. It's like a, what are there, 12 teams? It's like the 13-14 game right here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had that one down. It speaks for itself. I had the ReliaQuest Bowl down just because I wanted to see Pavia against that Iowa defense. I also think Iowa could play shocker just because it's what they do. But an underrated bowl that's probably one of my favorite that's not a college football playoff game is the New Mexico Bowl. It's North Texas. We'll see if everyone plays. I really hope everyone plays. And they play San Diego State. Okay, so San Diego State, they're both good teams, both real good group of 5 teams this year. San Diego State's defense is elite for group of 5. North Texas' offense is elite for group of 5. I can't wait. I want to see that.
Nick, remind me who the quarterback over at North Texas is.
I don't know. Future Heisman winner, Drew Mestamaker.
I am not shocked at all that you put that on there.
I was scrolling through and I was like, there's not that many good bowl games. Like, there are good bowl games, but none of them really stood out to me too much. And then that one was like, you know what? It's a real good defense. San Diego State's got a real good defense and a real good run game. North Texas has a real good offense and a very meh defense.
Yeah, no, I mean, it should be a good game. I don't disagree with you.
I also want to shout out the Holiday Bowl. That's by far my favorite bowl game ever to exist. Just
Really?
because back when it was at Qualcomm Stadium, where the Chargers used to play, my dad had been going there with his brothers and sisters and family and all that for, I think, a little bit before I was born. And then they took me for the first time, I think, in like 2003, when I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
And went to the bowl game every single year all the way until I was like probably like 19 or 20, until they moved it until they demolished the stadium.
Yeah.
Like I saw Ndamukong Suh's last ever college football game.
Okay. That's
Cody
cool.
Kessler, like just a bunch of future NFL guys. Like I saw their very last game.
Yeah, that's really cool. I saw Cody Kessler and Derek Carr play in the Las Vegas Bowl when it was at.
I saw that one too.
You were there?
Mm-hmm. I went to like all of Cody's.
Shit.
Yeah, because I was with the Kesslers at that time.
Oh, that's right. I do remember, because I remember texting you like about that game. Yeah. I remember texting you, like letting you like. For those of you that don't know, that was our freshman year of high school. Me and Nick went to high school together. We played football together in high school. I do remember that now. You and Dylan were there. That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot you were there. We did not sit by each other.
I went to
did not see each other.
Let's see, past Holiday Bowl games. I saw some crazy games.
While you look that up, we do have one other game. And as I say this, Nick, I want you to imagine a drum line, kind of like a patriotic drum line being played. We have one more game. This is a regular season game, and that is Army and Navy. The Army and the Navy, the United States Army and the United States Navy, the United States West Point Academy and the United States Naval Academy, in what is the best game, because of what it means. It is guys that will one day defend the country that we have called home. And there's a lot of things that go into this game, a lot of tradition. These two teams absolutely hate each other, but at the same time, they're brothers in arms, and if I said something bad about Army, someone in the Navy would call me out on it. Right? They're brothers that can talk crap to each other,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but they love each other. All the tradition that goes into it, all the history that goes into it, everything that goes into it, and then we get kind of a mid game, to be honest. But it is a phenomenal atmosphere and game, and that is this weekend. I'm going to be honest, I don't really have the team I root for. Um, oh, and by the way, both.
Navy. I've always rooted for Navy for some reason.
Really? I
Mm-hmm.
have one grandpa that was in the Army and one grandpa that was in the Navy. So I've always felt bad trying to pick a team because I feel like I'm like picking one grandpa over the other. I don't want to pick one grandpa over the other. I love them both. So um, I just hope you know what though. So you're gonna be rooting for Navy. I'm rooting for the troops. I'm rooting for the troops this year and every year.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's I think that's all I have for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Um,
So I do want to say, so 2004 Holiday Bowl, I think was the first game that I went to. Uh, Texas Tech played Cal. Okay.
okay.
Texas Tech was 23rd in the nation. Cal was fourth in the nation. Texas
Okay.
Tech won 45-31. Mike Leach was the head coach. Jeff Tedford was the head coach for Cal. The I want to say Rogers. This was Rogers' last year,
That sounds about right.
and then yeah, Rogers, and then the next year, unranked Oklahoma beat number 6 Oregon,
Okay.
and then in 2006, I saw Cal beat A&M in a blowout. Uh, Ndamukong Suh's last game, they beat Arizona 33 to nothing.
Nice.
But yeah, I've seen some crazy ass games.
Yeah. It
USC
sounds like it.
Nebraska, that shootout in 2014,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I remember that game.
45-42 game.
Yeah, I remember that game.
That's like Sarks. And Cody was MVP of that game.
So I remember that Donnie. So those that don't know, Donnie Kessler is Cody Kessler's dad. He was our defensive coordinator our freshman year, and then became our athletic trainer. Um, love Donnie. Can't say enough good things about Donnie. Uh, can't say enough good things about Donnie. Um, But he always had a watch on after that game that was like a holiday bowl that like, the players got and Cody had given to him. And I like, vividly
Yeah,
remember being like, dude, that's a sick watch. Had like both the logo of both schools on it.
that's sick. Yeah, I haven't been back, and now it's at their new stadium. So I definitely
Yeah.
want to go back. It used to be such a good bowl game.
Yeah,
It
I
used to be
never,
the
it
third
really
best
did. Yeah.
Pac-12 team, I'm pretty sure, or something like that, versus
I
the
think at one point it
fourth
was
in
the
the Big
second
Ten.
best. Yeah. I think it might have been at one point like the second pack and the third Big Ten or something. It's like the Baby Rose Bowl. It's a great game.
Yeah, I mean, as you could see, they used to be freaking number 4 team in the nation, number 16 in the nation was in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. But I think that's all I got for you, Nick. Anything else to add? All
That's
right.
all. A little long episode.
Very
Lots
long
covered.
episode. It's been recording for a minute 26 seconds, but that'll probably get cut down. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like around a minute 22. So yeah, no, thanks for if you guys are still here. Thanks for listening to us talk about college football for an hour and 22 minutes, or thereabout. Yeah, if you haven't followed on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, make sure to follow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. You get, I post 2 videos a day. It's a great time. Today I posted 3 videos, and two of them have been about Sherrone more. So make sure to like, follow, all of that. Besides that, guys, we will see you guys next week when we're talking pretty much just college football playoffs.